Hi, I'm Ewan, and I'm playing the part of Kevin in Marum. I got involved with the project after speaking to Elspeth because I certainly think even in a city environment, you have any form of Hebridean backdrop, we kind of find each other. You hear little things in accents, or even, like I said, I met her at a party years ago, so I've kind of known her through other people. But with the project for me personally, as a queer person from the islands living in the city, part of me at one point when I moved to the city wanted to almost lose the connection. And as I've got older, I've tried to retain as much of my kind of Hebridean background as I can because I don't want to lose my roots of who I'm from and where I was raised. So keeping that as an element along with Gaelic, which does scare me a little bit because I've not truly been involved with Gaelic since I was a teenager and kind of abandoned that character and section of my life. So reapproaching it is going to be a vulnerable thing, but also something I think that needs done. So I hope that comes across in it. And that's what made me connect with Kevin, because I think that he's got this part where certainly there's not a running from where you're from, but certainly there's almost a connection of two lives. So I think it's nice being able to join that. And I think the Gaelic is this ribbon that weaves its way through that you never truly lose who you are. You kind of make things lie dormant. So that's kind of going to be an amazing part of it. But equally, even to bring in, like, for me, the kind of queer set of, drag and elements and just things that are maybe not seen as the normal route for an island boy. So I think even such as, headpieces and things like these were, when I think of the backdrop of a kind of the Bernery landscape and nature and grassland, suddenly you're looking at, winged headpieces or mirrored birds or just even fabrics like metalworks, sequins. So I think all these things that when the young people left the islands to kind of go to Glasgow or Edinburgh or London and see the big smoke, in one way they learned this other culture that's out there. And certainly from my age group in the background, I wasn't lucky enough to have, or at least I at that point didn't have the things like the internet the same way that people have it now. So these big things were so much of a culture shock. Like, you never thought you'd be able to wear an Elton John glittered kimono, but here you are. But then I think being able to take that back and start with a modern audience, showing them it's okay to have everything, it's okay to have both. You can easily have this whilst also being able to cut marram grass. You can sit and you can be with your family. It's about opening doors. So for me, I think even taking in the other things, my big passion is, of course, the kind of weird magical side. And the one thing I always loved about the kind of Hebridean landscape was it's magical. Like, you can stand alone on a cliffside or by a loch or anywhere, a forest landscape, by a mountain, and you can be truly solitary. You can be just yourself and your thoughts. So I think these almost mystical elements that kind of wrap back into who we are, it's just, for me, a kind of great project of bringing a lot of things that mean an awful lot to me back into it. And obviously with it being crowdfunded, it's kind of nice seeing that people maybe find something within the project that they can support. So I think that's a kind of fantastic thing for what I love about being involved in it. It's nice to be able to think that you are kind of in one way bridging the gap between what people might see as archaic and old and outdated to actually showing it is still a working language that are people who are still 100% in their heart Hebridean, and not to lose and not have to lose who you are amongst wanting to be part of modern life. Because even with me as a drag queen, there's almost like a kind of tick box things of things you need to do and things you need to be. But the minute you can say, well, actually, I'm going to be wearing the Madonna piece, but I'm going to sing a Gaelic song, it's a really fusion of who you truly are, but also who you can be. So for me, I think it's going to be a very exciting time, terrifying, but deeply exciting.